Alright, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Rob here at Smirking Gun Reviews, back to talk more comics. We're still going from this week's stuff, and right now we're finally getting to Immortal Hulk number 24. The just incredible book by Al Ewing and Joe Bennett as penciler. Al Ewing is the writer. Back when I read Civil War 2 and they killed Bruce, and then suddenly we heard that Hulk's coming back and he shows up in that Avengers crossover and then gets his own book. I honestly didn't. This has been such a welcome surprise to me, the way that they took the Hulk's return, and it is art. This shit is art. I know all things is art, but this is like legit comic book art. This story that they've got in here, this horror story, is like unlike anything they've ever done before, and I can't believe it's happening, in a time when there's so much bad stuff out there. Right now we've got Incredible Hulk, Venom, Absolute Carnage, Hickman's X-Men. Just when the books are good, they're really good, and Al Ewing's Immortal Hulk has just been such a fucking awesome book. And the penultimate, well, I don't know if we want to call it the penultimate, it's like before the first landmark issue, which is 25, or at least, it's like a little anniversary, or however you want to deal with it. I hope that this continues. I feel like we're just scratching the surface of what's going to happen in this series, but in this, it's basically the kind of the wrap up of the current storyline, going into like what we're setting up for next. And we have this, like, they wished, they prayed, and then they found fulfillment as the first cosmic ray burst inundated the star-crossed ship. It's from Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, Galactus: The Origin. So usually there's just a quote here, but we get this like something's new is happening, and they show us this old reference to Galactus: The Origin by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. It's crazy. So we get this thing. It's called the Sentience of the Cosmos, and this person is like the last survivor, and it's where they're going to become this new life form. They say the name Galen of Ta. So it's at the end of the world, right? And there's one survivor, and the sentience of the cosmos and it are going to become some super being. Like, everything's all over. And then we get the line. There's the one you can see, the one you think you know. Right? That's what they said? Yeah. Oh, there are two people in every mirror. And then it goes on to, there's the one you can see, the one you think you know. Like, again, just look at this. If any way you thought, oh, how can we show the explosion like in another cool way, they figure it out. Because it's kind of like they're mixing almost like the Fantastic Four with like his own introduction. Okay, there's the one you can see, the one you think you know, and then there's the other one. And then we shoot to this fight that's going on still, where Hulk is like a freaking, like, just look, he's like, looks undead, like everything's just hanging off of him. And 14, he's turned himself into a fucking Resident Evil monster. And Hulk's just, starting to wipe the floor with them. Meanwhile, the gang inside starts to make a friend in one of the doctors that's been doing all this, and basically saying, like, look, you know what you got to do. Your boss turned into a fucking monster. Time to make a decision here. Like, who's worse? And it's like, look at this, man. He like throws up. He's trying to melt the Hulk, and he melts his own guys. I mean, the horror, body horror and shit, and the gore, like, such a Cronenberg book. I love this. I know that's been said before, but like, and then when he kills 14, man, when he finally gets in there and grabs his face, like he pukes on Hulk. Hulk's face is like melting off, and this guy's like saying like, "Oh, this is what is going on. You're dead. You're already dead. You're already dead. You're all like," and then just he wakes up. So 14 comes in. I mean, just again, like such beautiful art. He wakes up. He's in hell. There's Samson. There's the one below. Oh, there's, you know, all this shit. And then Bruce or Joe Fixit walks up behind him and everything and just cracks his neck. And it's just like, Bruce ain't here, Dad. It's Joe. Party's over. And then we get the opening of the door, them coming back through and bringing Samson on the way back. And 14's dead, and Samson's basically like saying, hey man, you need somebody to keep you in check. And besides, I don't really know what else to do with myself right now. And Hulk's plan to use Shadow Base and the person that works there, where they'd have like all this money, like black budget stuff. So he's like, we get her on our side. We get $1 billion black budget and tech and bases nobody knows about. Then we can really get to work. So Hulk's ultimate plan, and it's also, you know, Banner tells, you know, or Hulk tells Samson, you know, like, Banner's in on this with me, all right? Everybody basically in here, up in here, we're all in on it. So don't try to mess with us. And he's like, relax, everything's going to be fine. He sits in this great big steel chair. What could go wrong? But then we see eons from now, at the end of all things, we find out that what was being said at the beginning was to Bruce Banner of Earth. And that he is the last survivor. And that we're supposed to become this great entity and all this. And it's just this great, beautiful form that we're going to take. And suddenly it's like, uh-oh. Nope. It's all of a sudden like one... It turns into a freaking nightmare as usual, where it looks like the one below all basically comes and turns, and there's like, look at this shit, man. And it comes, and this thing's like, no, this isn't the way it's supposed to go. This isn't how it happens. And, well, I don't think they had much. Look at that. I mean, look at that shit right there in the corner. Holy crap. And it just says, there are two people in every mirror. There's the one you can see, and then there's the other one. The one you don't want to. Seriously, folks, I know that, like, we can't get a Hulk movie made. People, like, for some reason haven't, like, everybody loves the Hulk, but nobody, like, just reads the book. They just like smashing. They just like, whoa! But they never take the time to read how freaking incredible, almost like so many Hulk runs, varying in degrees sometimes, but like for the most part, like Hulk is always such a solid book for the most part. And I don't know, man, people, you need to read this. You know, like if you want to jump into comics, go back, get the trades of the first couple of volumes of Immortal Hulk and keep reading, because so far, as long as Al Ewing is involved with this story, and they could just keep going on the way it's going, I'm on board the whole way, man. I'm on board the whole way. Give me 50 more issues. Give me 100 more issues. If you can keep it going, I will read. So anyway, if you like this review, please hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe, all that jazz. That should be about it for comic reviews for the week. We'll be back with Powers of 10, number 6, as soon as it arrives in the mail. So have a great night, everybody. Thanks for watching. Keep reading comics, and have a great night. Bye.